A cold November night in 1966, Woodrow, a sewing machine salesman, stopped to adjust some of his sewing machines in the back of his truck. As he adjusted his machines, he noticed a light coming down the road. He assumed it was a police car or a local resident. As the light got closer, Woodrow noticed that the light looked like a kerosene lamp. Suddenly, a man would start approaching his truck. Assuming he was there to help Woodrow would welcome him over and didn't really notice anything strange about the man until he looked at his face and saw an unusually large and bizarre grin. This would petrify Woodrow. That's when the strange man would look at Woodrow and say, "Why are you frightened? Don't be frightened. We wish you no harm. We mean you no harm. We wish you only happiness." If you enjoy ghost stories or strange encounters, please like and subscribe. The Smiling Man has been seen around the world for decades now. Some believe he is of alien origin. Others believe he's a paranormal entity. There are two main descriptions of the Smiling Man. He is described as being over 6 feet tall, wearing a reflective green suit with a black belt. Now in this rendition, he has no ears, no nose, and no hair. His skin is dark gray. The next description of him is a normal human appearance. He's 6'5" to 6'8", always wearing some kind of old-fashioned suit with slicked back black hair. For the most part, he looks just like a normal human. The only thing that makes people leery of him is his unnatural smile. Now, he's also known to dance and act like a cartoon character. He reminds me very much of Jim Carrey's The Mask character. Now, I do not know whether or not that movie got its inspiration from The Smiling Man. If you do know, let me know in the comments down below if they did. Now, the story that brought the Smiling Man back into the creepypasta mainstream was posted on Reddit in 2012. It is of a guy who used to take long walks at night in Seattle, Washington. The Reddit user would turn down an alley on his way back going towards his apartment when he saw the silhouette of a man dancing across the street. Thinking the guy was just drunk, the Reddit user would just ignore him. Then he would notice the man was dance walking towards him. The Reddit user would notice also the man's eyes were painfully wide open, as well as an uncomfortably large smile with his teeth showing. That's when the Reddit user decided to cross the street to avoid the dancing man. He would walk past the man and continue walking for a couple of seconds. That's when he would turn around and notice the man was no longer dancing and was facing his direction with his head facing straight up into the air. The Reddit user would just ignore him, turning around and walking at a faster pace for about 10 seconds. Then he would turn around to look at the man again. This time, the man had crossed the street and was crouched down on the sidewalk directly behind him. This would make the Reddit user freeze in fear. That is when the man would start taking giant, over-exaggerated steps towards him, just like a cartoon character would. He would get within a car lengths away of the Reddit user. That is when he would turn around and dance back down the sidewalk. Still frozen in fear, the Reddit user would stand there, just watching him, as he got further and further away. Then he noticed the man started running back towards him. The Reddit user would immediately take off running. Now, the Reddit user posted a couple of months later that he had actually had a dream after his encounter of the dancing man and him dancing together. Now, it makes you wonder, what is the Smiling Man? Who is the Smiling Man? I have found multiple accounts of him on the internet. He is traced back to what is considered the first encounter in 1966. This is just a few weeks before Woodrow's encounter with the Smiling Man. Two boys named Martin and Jimmy were walking home one night in New Jersey. It was around 8 o'clock. As they walked along, they noticed something strange. A man standing near a fence in a greenish-gray metal suit. The curious boys would approach the man. He would turn around and have a very big, unnatural smile on his face. The boys would take off running, and the man would chase them. Now, a later interview with the boys would have them describe the figure as alien-like. It would have no ears, no hair, or a nose. He was unusually tall with unnatural facial features, and he had gray skin. I am curious, because most people describe the smiling man as a normal-looking human, excluding the unnatural smile. The only thing that makes people suspicious of him are his unusual behaviors, like staring straight into the sky while smiling, and, of course, the unusual dancing and movements like a cartoon. The entity the boys saw does not match the true description of the smiling man. It is more of an alien creature. Is it a completely different entity? The next story shines some light that kind of ties all the encounters together. Let's take a look at another encounter in West Virginia. It is the 1970s. The Lilly family was experiencing strange activity around their home. Some would describe it as poltergeist activity. As the weeks went on, they would not only witness stuff moving around their home, they would also start seeing diamond-shaped lights outside their windows. One night, while the Lilly family was sleeping, they would be awakened by their daughter screaming. When they ran to her room to check on her, she would say that there was a man standing over her bed dancing and staring at the ceiling. She would describe him as very tall, black, slick-backed hair, and a very scary, unnatural smile on his face. So you might ask, how does this tie things together? Well, our first story, what did Woodrow see? He saw lights, just like the last story with the Lilly family. So researching the two boys who encountered the alien-like smiling man, days before their encounter, multiple residents in the area reported strange lights in the sky. Now, another thing that will tie this all together is continuing the story of Woodrow from the start of the video. So after the smiling man told Woodrow to not be afraid, he would ask Woodrow what was he called. Woodrow would give him his name, and the smiling man would introduce himself as Cold, Indrid Cold. After his encounter, Woodrow would contact the local police department. One thing led to another, and this would eventually lead to him doing a TV interview. The link for the interview is in the description below. This would also bring up a conversation Woodrow had with Cold. Cold had confessed to being from another planet, a planet in another galaxy. The planet's name is Lanulos. Now, is the smiling man from another planet? Why does he dance in some of his encounters and not others? What do you think he is? Comment down below. Now, please don't forget to like and subscribe, and thank you for watching.